Hey guys, it's Aion from MMOs.com. Another quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements of the weekend November 12th, 2017. This is episode number 121 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week is for Bluehole, and it's a big one. The folks behind Tera and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds revealed a brand new steampunk MMORPG for the PC called Ascent, Infinite Realm. It even showed off a pretty epic trailer for it too. The game seems to have an emphasis on aerial combat, war mechs, and airships. It'll be published in the West by Kakao Games, the folks publishing BlackTizer Online. The first beta is scheduled in the first half of 2018, but nothing is quite set in stone just yet. The game that already had a closed beta test in South Korea is actually aiming for a Western release date, which is actually pretty hype. We haven't had too many brand new big title MMORPGs in the West in a while, so this is pretty damn exciting. I'm not counting games like Asta Online or these low budget, relaunched old school games. This is an actual brand new MMORPG, and it looks fairly high budget, so I am excited. Next up, speaking of big MMORPG launches, one of the biggest MMO launches of the year happened this last week. Mood Legend went into open beta earlier this week, and while the beta has been a bit rocky with disconnects, the game seems to be off to a pretty strong start. I remember even days after the open beta launch, there was about a 25-minute queue just to log in. That's since settled down though. The biggest problem with the game right now is frequent disconnects and other server crashes, perhaps due to too many people trying to log in, I don't quite know. Regardless, the game itself is pretty fun. I had a lot of fun playing the closed beta test and already made my character on open beta, and I'm definitely having some fun with this one. Pretty solid. Also, in new game news, Battlerite finally went free to play this last week. The Team Arena Brawler by Sunlock Studios has been sitting as a buy-to-play game for about a year or so now, and finally decided to go free to play, and boy is it off to a strong start. The game hit an all-time concurrent peak of about 44,850 this last weekend, which is more than 2 times the previous peak, and the numbers have been going up every single day since it went free to play. I've personally played Battlerite on and off since early access, and I absolutely love the game. It's basically League of Legends or Dota, but without the minions and structures, and each match is much shorter. It's a fast-paced and incredibly fun game. There's a bit of a learning curve though. I'm glad to see the game doing well though. If you never played it, I strongly recommend checking it out now that it's free. Also, in new game news, once again, we had a pretty huge update for Lineage Eternal this last week. NCSoft revealed a new trailer for Project TL this last week, which is actually just Lineage Eternal. What happened was NCSoft basically abandoned their old game engine, which was a Guild Wars engine, and started making the game on Unreal Engine 4. They also have an entirely new team working on the game. Based on the trailer, it doesn't look like they restarted from scratch, but the folks over at NCSoft did say players should view Project TL as a new game rather than just a rework of Lineage Eternal. I think they're scrapping the whole mobile PC crossplay stuff as well in favor of just PC, but we'll have to wait and see. The closed beta is scheduled for sometime in 2018 in South Korea. This one's been in the works forever, and I just hope the game eventually comes out. Lineage Eternal has been one of those games that had a perpetual hype for a long time, and they've had a lot of issues, but hopefully with Project TL it actually happens. Next up, in some pretty exciting mobile MMORPG news, and I know that sounds like an oxymoron, mobile and exciting, but just take a look at the new trailer Pearl Abyss released this last week, showing off character creation in Black Desert Mobile. It looks absolutely incredible. I played a decent chunk of mobile MMORPGs, and most games have basically zero appearance customization, so to see Black Desert Mobile trying to give players this many options is truly amazing. I just hope the actual game itself is fun, but I won't know that till I get my hands on it. It does look pretty damn hype though, honestly. This is like PC style character creation in a mobile game. Absolutely cool, but again, we'll have to wait and see and try it ourselves. Moving right along, also in mobile game news, NCSoft revealed Blade & Soul 2 at a media event this last week, and it's a mobile-only title. I personally really enjoyed Blade & Soul on the PC, so I'm hoping the sequel lives up to the name. Keep in mind though, Blade & Soul 2 is a different title than Blade & Soul M, which is also a Blade & Soul mobile game. What makes it even odder is that Blade & Soul M is actually being worked on by the same team that worked on the PC Blade & Soul game, which presumably means Blade & Soul 2 is being worked on by an entirely new team. Confusing, I know. Not too much is known about this one just yet, and I'm sure we'll get more details in the near future, perhaps at GStar, which should be later this week. Next, it looks like we have another dead MMORPG finding new life. RaiderZ may be coming back to life through a company called Masangsoft. Masangsoft is the company that publishes and develops Guns 2, which was also originally by Mayat, the bankrupt Korean developer behind RaiderZ as well. Anyways, it's all based on a Facebook post on the RaiderZ game page. While we have no definitive release date, it's definitely good news for fans of the game. In my opinion, it's probably one of the better older MMORPGs being resurrected, as the action combat was definitely pretty fun, but I think it'll still struggle to reach a large audience whenever it does actually relaunch. Next up, a bit of news from Tera. The Eland Gunners are being introduced to the game on November 22nd alongside the minigun updates. There are actually a whole bunch of updates set to release during November. I expect numerous in-game events and other content as the month rolls on. Also, in Tera-related news, Inmask confirms that Tera had a chat vulnerability bug and the game shut down for emergency maintenance earlier this week. Apparently, people could link each other certain images and viruses through the game's chat windows. The Tera devs have acknowledged the issue and said that they haven't seen any evidence of anyone being compromised this way just yet, but regardless, they took it down and patched it, so it should be fixed. It's pretty bizarre though that such a chat exploit existed in this game for such a long time. Next, Revelation Online is adding its 7th class to the game, the Assassin, in its next expansion titled the Shadowblade expansion. The new class will feature both daggers for short-range combat and chain weapons for mid-range gameplay. It will be the only class in the game to have stealth skills. No word on when the new expansion will be rolling out though, but you can see it in action in the CGI trailer in the background. I don't know why companies keep doing these. Everyone wants to see actual in-game gameplay for the new class, not some random CGI cutscenes, but hey, it's all we got right now. Next up, Closers officially launched the closed beta this last week, and closed beta for some odd reason means no more wipes. The only way to gain access to the closed beta though is to buy a Founders Pack, which are priced from $15 all the way up to $150. No word on when closed beta itself ends and when the game actually launches. Closers will be free to play when it launches. They're just trying to milk some money before they make it free to play, it seems. A Steam launch for Closers should be right around the corner. I think they're aiming for the end of this month, so it should be pretty soon. And speaking of Steam, Lawbreakers held another free weekend and is on sale for 50% off until November 14th. Unfortunately, the promotions didn't seem to help the game's player base too much, as while the concurrent player base numbers did jump to about 380 or so on Steam, they quickly began to fall as the weekend rolled on. It'll be back to low double digits by the end of next week, I imagine. I still don't know what Nexon/Bosky Studios were thinking with this one. It never should have been buy to play to begin with, in my opinion. Making it free to play now may be too little too late, but this game looks pretty dunzo. And speaking of too little too late and what were they thinking, Asta Online is shutting down for a second time. On November 9th, Move Games, the current publisher of Asta, put out an announcement saying that the game will shut down permanently on December 8th, 2017. This new version of Asta only launched back in April of 2017, so it's shutting down in well under a year. I knew this game was destined to fail after it first launched in English years ago because it shut down in South Korea and then they launched in America. They basically launched the game that already failed in its home market in the West and hoped it would succeed. Surprise, surprise, it didn't. In fact, they shut down twice here already. I rested pepperoni, Asta. Also in shutting down game news, Kritika Online's Southeast Asian version is shutting down December 12th, 2017. Keep in mind, this is only for the Southeast Asian version, which is published by PlayPark. It has no impact on the global English version through InMass. But it definitely is not good news for Kritika overall because it shows that the game failed to succeed in one region of the world, Southeast Asia. The InMass version of the game currently IP blocks the Southeast Asian region, which kind of sucks for people over there. Hopefully, after the C version is gone, InMass will get permission from the developer to lift those IP blocks and bring all those players to the InMass version. But we'll have to wait and see if they actually end up doing that. Next up in some industry news, Nexon will be showing off a bunch of games at GStar 2017, which is set to begin on November 16th. So expect a bunch of announcements for the next week's recap. Not just from Nexon though, obviously. Every big Korean game developer will release a lot of information during the big event. Nexon will be showing off 5 PC games including FIFA Online 4, Need for Speed Edge, Battlerite, and Titanfall Online. Tencent's Moonlight Blade will also be revealed in Nexon's presentation. On the mobile front, Overhit, Durango, MapleStory Blitz, and Mabinogi Mobile will be shown off over there. Personally, I'm a bit curious about Mabinogi Mobile, as I think that's a game that would work really well on mobile, but we'll have to wait and see. That's actually one of the few mobile games I actually want to play. But yeah, I expect a lot of announcements this week. Up next, also in industry news, NCSoft reported their Q3 2017 earnings report this last week, and it showed a whopping 488% increase in quarterly mobile game revenue. These charts you're seeing are actually quite astounding. NCSoft made a cool $491 million off mobile games in the last 3 months, and if you add up all the other games on this chart, it made only about $105 million US. So basically, mobile games make 5 times more money than Aion, Blade & Soul, Lineage, Lineage 2, and Guild Wars 2, basically all combined. This is exactly why we're going to keep getting mobile games. That's where the money's at. Oh, and for those curious, most of the mobile game money came from 2 games, Lineage M and Lineage 2 Revolution. Mobile games are making tons of money. Next up, a small bit of mobile game news. Aion Legions, the game I did a first look for already, is now officially known as Aion Tempest. It's the same game as before, except with some small tweaks and changes. The game takes place 900 years before the main events of the Aion PC game, and while it features a lot of autoplay, it does have real-time PvP battles with other players through Legion battles and Legion Wars. It's nice to see another game in the Aion franchise, but it would have been a lot nicer to see another PC MMORPG, but given the previous charts we saw, we're not too surprised to see another mobile game. Next up, a small bit of news for Final Fantasy XIV. Director and producer Naoki Yoshida did an interview with PlayStation Universe, talked a bit about housing and patch 4.2. New housing plots as well as a new process for purchasing plots will be added to the game in 4.2. We talked about that in a previous recap and there's nothing new there, but we did learn that new relic armor will be introduced to the game soon. We've had relic weapons in Final Fantasy XIV for a while, and relic armor will be an entirely new thing and will give players yet another goal in the game to work towards. No word on when 4.2 is coming out though. It's always great to look forward to new content, but hopefully it's not too far away. Next, Trend Worlds announced that ArcheAge 4.0 Maelstrom update is set to launch on December 6th and will bring with it revamped gems, new open world raid finder, crafting system updates, and a new 20-man PvP game mode. It's a big update and I'm sure many ArcheAge fans are excited for it. The new 20-player mode is called Blood Salt Bay and features 4 crews of 5 on ships battling out against both PvE monsters and other players in a PvPvE environment. While ArcheAge's popularity on Steam fell off a bit, it still averages about a cool 580 or so players online on Steam alone, and likely much more on their own launcher. And while we heard about this update in the past, we do have a release date for it now again, which is on December 6th. Next up, Vindictus will be launching a brand new character, Miri the Dragon Lancer, on the North American version of the game sometime before the end of 2017. Starting November 8th until December 6th, players can complete daily quests, earn tickets, which allow them to unlock Miri and various other goodies for free. And based on the schedule of events, Miri should be launching on December 6th or 7th, but there's no official word on that just yet, but it'll definitely be by the end of the year. Next up, we finally have a release date for Trian's upcoming expansion, Adventures, which is a free update to the game. It's set to launch on PC, Mac, PS4, and Xbox One, all on November 14th, and it adds a brand new biome to the game called the Forbidden Spires biome, as well as a revamped club system. The expansion also includes a new mastery system, revamped leaderboards, a new adventure window, as well as a lot of other goodies. It's a big update to Trove, and again, it's launching on November 14th, which is actually tomorrow. The next and last bit of news is also on the mobile games front. After a huge success of Lineage 1M, NCSoft released a cinematic trailer for Lineage 2M. Given that Lineage 1M was literally a direct port of the PC MMORPG, Lineage 2M should also follow in the same footsteps. NCSoft mentioned that the Samsung Galaxy S8 and eventual S9 were good candidate devices that could actually run the game. So players with older smart devices may need to upgrade before being able to play this one. They're actually looking to push the boundaries of mobile gaming because Lineage 2, despite its age, is actually a pretty complex game that seems to be hard to port over to mobile at first glance. I mean, the game has a huge, persistent, seamless large world, all with a single channel. So the mobile version aims to accomplish all of that and more. Unfortunately, no word on when this one is coming out just yet, but if more mobile games and direct PC ports or PC MMORPGs, I'll definitely be happy. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO News this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Later guys.